Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nadzatul Nabila binti Nadzelan and my matrix number TB19029. Today I would like to explain the procedure of the experiment of the mini project. First thing first, what is separately excited DC motor? A separately excited DC motor is a motor whose field circuit is supplied from a separate constant voltage power supply, while a shunt DC motor is a motor whose field circuit gets its power directly across the armature terminals of the motor. When the supply voltage to a motor is assumed constant, there is no practical difference in behavior between two machines. Next, I will start the simulation. Now, this is the circuit diagram of speed control of separately excited DC motor. Before we start the experiment, make sure our hands are not wet during touching the component, the equipment or switch. And during the connection of wire, make sure it connects correctly, and the wire connection must be inspected by the personnel with specialist knowledge. Okay, right now we will start the experiment. We will turn on the switch for both controller, and then keep any field voltage or current constant at some value, either the field controller or armature controller. Get 3 values to fix the field voltage or current, and each of the field voltage and current must get at least 10 different voltages. Okay, first I will fix the field voltage with value 100 volt. Okay. Make sure the volt here are not exceed the limit of the field voltage. Here is the requirement field voltage for 220 volts. Okay, this is the fixed value, and then we will varies 10 different voltages at here. So I will start this one with 100. Now we will fix this armature controller armature voltage with 50 volts. And then we will click the button start storing data. Okay, now we will click the up button to increase the armature voltage. Now I will change to 60, and then click start storing data, and then okay, after we already increased the value of armature volts until 10 different values, and then we will click the show data to get the data of the experiment. Okay, here is the data of the experiment, and this is field voltmeter which is fixed to 100 volts. This is for the 100 volt constant at the field voltage. I will repeat the step with another two values, which is 150 volts and 200 volts. Okay, for the next value, 150 fixed at the field voltmeter, and for the amateur volt, I will start with 100 volts, and then we will start storing data. Okay, and then increase the values until we get the 10 different values. After we already increased the amateur voltage to 10 different values, we will click the button of show data to get the data of the experiment for the fixed value of 150 volts. Next, I will do the next value, which is 200 volts. For another fixed value, which is 200 volts, this is the fixed value. In this field controller, do not exceed field voltage. Do not exceed the 220 volts. Okay, and for the amateur voltage, I will start with 150 volts. Okay, for the fixed value of 200 volt at field voltage, I'll start this one with 150 volts. Okay, after I got 10 various value, and this is the data of the experiment. Total we got 30 values of the data reading. For the amateur voltage, it is okay to exceed 200 volt because the limit are about 440 volts. Next, for the experiment, to fix values at the amateur voltage, we will turn on the switch first, and then I will start the value by fixing this amateur voltage at 50 volts. Here at field voltage, I will start with 100 volts, and this will be remain 100 volts with the other two fixed values. I will start with the other fixed values with 100 volts too at field voltage. And then for fixed value at amateur voltage, I will start with 50 volts. Okay, now I will start storing the data, and then I will increase the voltage at the field voltage until I get 10 values of different voltages. Okay. after get all the 10 values of different voltage at field voltage, we already start storing the data. And now we will show the data. So this is all the data for each 3 values of fixed values. This is fixed values for 50 volts, for the 100 volts, and for the 150 volts. As I said, for the field voltage, I will start with 100 volts. Seems to here 100 volts too, and also seems for fixed value of 150 volts. I will start the field voltage at 100 volts too. And then after we get all the data, we will generate the graph. So for this experiment, it is fixed at the amateur voltage, so we will use VAM versus speed, and then we will generate the graph. So this is how the graph was plotted according to the data that I have obtained just now. Okay, that's it from me. For the safety, as I said before, please make sure to check the connections. Check the connection, inspect with the someone's personally have the special knowledge, and then do not touch the components with wet hands, and do not exceed the limits that are already required here. And that's it for me. Thank you.